Hi, Tuccis. It's Roris.
And D Money.
Two good Tuccis ready to talk iconic friendships of film and television. Today, we are discussing and dissecting one of my favorites, David and Stevie from Schitt's Creek.
And just as a reminder, a good Tucci is a BFF who has always got your back, just like Stanley Tucci in every movie role. And Stanley Tucci, if you're watching, I think your new venture should to be buying a hotel. You've already done like the pasta, the cookware, the cookbooks. You got to buy a hotel. That's it.
I I fully second. Let's petition it. Let's get the signatures. Yes, I'm rolling with this idea 100%.
That's all that's left to do is just the hotel.
The hotel.
Call it the Stanley. Mm,
Oh, I see what
mm,
you're doing here. I see what you did there.
mm.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, speaking of hotels, motels, all of the like, that's where this little Tucciship here with David and Stevie begins.
I was
We,
gonna
if
say us. Well, technically, like an Airbnb.
correct,
Ooh,
yeah, it all
ooh.
started. So, like I said, all of the above, all of the like. So,
Mhm,
look at already relating right off the bat.
mhm.
Granted, a bit of a different story here. Neither of us are working for this Airbnb or hotel.
Just
But
to check in.
so, well, speaking of checking in, how much of or when is the Schitt's Creek? How have you seen it? All of it? Yeah.
Um, I I saw all of that there was available, which was everything up to the last season. And then the last
Oh,
season came out, and then I said, okay, let me rewatch because it's been a minute. And then I got fatigued, and then I also realized that this is the last season, so this ends the story. And then other things came out and piled on top of it, so we haven't finished it.
what are you doing? It is the resolution, and honestly, you're missing some of the best parts. Depending how far you've gotten, uh, I'm a full stan. We're standing today.
Yeah.
We're representing, but I've seen it a few times through, so like I'm ready and prepared to do a little
To
deep
give your
dive here.
dissertation.
Uh, Maybe one or two, something casual, as we do.
Well,
But
I do know enough to know that their setting and like the beginning of their friendship is kind of like ours. And I know that it didn't happen in a hotel or it happened in the Airbnb, but like the fact that they weren't in like a social situation, like he was there like as a customer
right.
trying to like do this, and I was there as a customer. No, I was there like trying to do my job and like talk to you as an interview.
Well, and even on
And
the reverse, yeah, like it was still a kind of a
mhm,
working thing for us to start with because I was self promotion, do a
mhm.
little story moment here or something of the like. So yeah, even starting off
Yeah, I didn't meet you at a party. Like it wasn't at a
right,
club. Like it's not where you're at a place expecting to meet people because it's like I had interviewed all these people up to then and like me and Coco Peru weren't like, "Hey girl." So like I didn't carry that expectation into it. It was
yeah,
like the interview, we talked for an hour and then like we get a retweet a week later and then like if we ever see each other, like if I remind myself of you, hopefully you remember me and that's as far as it went.
well, for the most part, yeah, and that's kind of what you would expect. Like in that situation, that's you're a tutu for a reason there. Like we're coming together for like this thing, and again, if it weren't for this thing, that what other way would we have met? When would we have crossed paths? Like all of those things. So it is very yeah, just kind of that weird one off, but something there clicked, and like that just sparked what. However, I tried to do the math. I don't even remember how long it's been at this point. It's been over 5 years. I know that much. It's been a minute,
Yeah. We
but
could have done like 6 seasons of a show or something.
well, there's all of Schitt's Creek. Hello,
Mm.
casual little 6 seasons. But no, it is interesting that just that simple conversation where we like it was touching on like a little bit more of like the story and the history of like me and like what was going on, but that was very one-sided because of what we were doing. And so like how any sort of like otherwise connection sparked from that is just like energy, all in the energy. The universe
All
said
the way.
hello. Let's be in alignment. But yeah, so starts off one of my favorite things about this friendship that ends up growing is just the immediate kind of mockery and sarcastic type of friendship. Like starts off strong. we could tell already that maybe some people are a certain type of way and their like personality and their attitude, and then Stevie just is just feeding right back into it. And just like, no, I'm not here for the bullshit.
No.
That's not for
Or
me.
or like my favorite is like I'm spiraling out. Yeah, you are. Like
That's that's when you see it start getting real because they start quickly keeping each other in check. And if they're not like fully just calling out the bullshit and just being like, no, yeah, you're really being this type of way or like whatever, it's just full like, I'm just gonna make fun of you to a degree to where you get it. You get the hit. You see what's going on here. Let me read you a little bit and put you in your place. So we see that with her just the whole business center thing. So like how when do you feel like did that even kick in quickly? Like that quickly? Or did we do you recall listen, I'm gonna be real. I don't know that I remember much of that interview. That was years ago. A lot has happened since then. I remember the time, the place, the setting, like everything that was going on there, but I don't know what we talked about. When did like do you know when we you felt like that sort of something that like kind of spark of
of like the not when we became friends, but like they could lead. That was more than just an interview. You mean?
yeah, like do we like I don't recall if
Um,
maybe that like we kind of felt that like during because obviously like it was a good time like we both like the interview
Most of my
itself.
interviews to that point were done online and like not even video call, just audio. So it was like talking on the phone. So going and doing it in person was completely different. And I think I'd just done Kelly Mantle in person, maybe, and that was completely different than our situation. That was literally like on a table outside a restaurant in downtown LA, like at like 6:30 at night. So this was way different. So this was like going over to your Airbnb, and so I wasn't going to be showing up empty-handed. So like I showed up with a cheese plate, I showed up with snacks and everything. So like I think that was the thing that led to it without me even knowing because I like we did the interview and then that gave us like 10-15 minutes. It wasn't long at all. It
No
was like maybe 20 minutes tops of us being like, "Well, I brought this and like I'm not taking it back with me, so like
gift
you
for
want to open it
you.
now?" Like
And I
let's
love that
have like a
we
slice of cheese and like that time gave it that ignition.
absolutely, yeah. It was just like we had that a little bit of that personal moment. But you really did. You went, you brought the gifts. You said, "Hi, here you go.
Like I
Welcome."
remember going to like the actual Trader Joe's trip, like actually not like everything, but like pictures of selecting things because I'm totally bad at remembering things or like the initial meeting of a friend. Like you know when you have a friend for so long, and then you're like, how the fuck did we even meet? Or like
Absolutely.
there's also this trend going around like online where it's being like my boyfriend or my husband and it's like this guy was just somebody who like gave me a shot one night at the bar and like 3 kids later here's like they talk about how they handled it like this was just a stranger on the line online one day who like responded to my message
And sometimes,
like we
literally, it's
trace
a
it back to
reply.
that.
Yeah, it's a, like the like of a comment or of a post, and then like a reply to that. Anything to kind of spark, even just that immediate like connection, whatever it is, that interaction, and then
But like tracing it back to like something I don't want to say insignificant but like something that could be so throwaway. So
yeah, no, 100%, 100%. But I do love.
anyway,
I
what?
please.
Huh?
What you talk about? What you talk about? So yeah, I think basically from the time we did the interview to like I don't really know what happened between the time of that and then you coming out to visit me.
I think we just started talking, and then I think you got like your I gave you a segment on the podcast, and then like that I think what dove the friendship more because we had a reason to talk.
True.
And then once we did start talking, we started realizing things. And like in my notes right here for like the game night episode,
Oh yeah.
where Stevie's like, I don't like games. And and then David's like, we're too similar for you to not like
A
games.
hundred percent.
So like I feel like that's with us now. Like obviously it took time to get like that, but like I feel like we're so similar, different in many ways, but so similar to be like, oh, you're not gonna like this, or like you're gonna
It
be like,
happens every day.
okay, uh-huh.
Absolutely. Yeah, once we started working on something and just talking, it became a lot more extended and
Hmm.
just very quickly deep dove into like, we're no longer talking about work. Now it's just,
Oh,
what you
you're
doing? What you up to? Have you seen this? Let's
hmm
talk about this. But that is actually one of my notes as well, is just that whole little moment. And then again, just that quick, those bits of sarcasm, just like, oh, can I be on your team? You sound really fun.
oh
Like
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
have those like competitive, just like punchy moments. Last time that I was down for a visit, we played some games, and of course, I won because hi, how are
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
It's what
yeah.
but
Holding on to that win, I see.
that's one of many. Let's
Right,
pull
you
out the
need
books.
it.
No. Oh,
You need
okay.
it. I'll
Oh,
give it to
okay.
you.
Oh, okay. I see. This bitch. It's fine. Next time I'll give you a win. It's okay.
Mm,
Or you can just be on my
mm,
team because that would be
mm.
really fun.
Really?
Speaking of like hanging out, I am no stranger, of course, but I was curious, and this was like literally I went game night, and then this moment. It's more of like the hookup scene, which doesn't really relate to us, but I'm curious to talk about it. But
Oh my
also,
God.
Mama,
I just have to say the whole like sexual thing going back and forth makes no sense.
I would disagree
No sense.
to a degree, but like I want to talk about the big bag of Miss Mary Jane herself, the Wheats, found in a guest's room,
Hmm.
and they just decide to indulge,
Not the
just help
indulgence.
themselves. First off, are you trusting just this big ass bag of weed you just find in
Just
some strangers?
finding things.
Are you
I
trusting
don't,
that?
if I could easily and specifically identify what it is, yes. But like,
So if it's just some flour, just some greenery,
yeah, I was gonna say, but with that said, I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not like, I don't know what, like,
you're making your own decisions, your own choices for you, yours, and
but
yourself.
no, like I'm just saying, like I just if it's green and I can tell it's green, that's all I'll go for it. But like any other things, no, because I don't even know like the first thing of anything.
Oh,
So like
absolutely not. No, no, no.
yeah, I'll be like, is this a acetaminophen? So you know,
Relatable. I'm like the old person just putting on my glasses, trying to read the labels, being like, what is this? What am I taking? What is it
because
doing?
one time, what you one time,
Oh, do
like
do carry on.
my best friend at the time, who I thought was the best
Uh
friend,
oh.
they were a good time party pal, okay? And
Okay.
they said, "Here, take this," and I took it. And the next day, I woke up around noon,
What time was this when you took it?
like around 6 p.m. the day
Wait
before.
a
So like,
minute.
I don't know if they were just trying to have a party at the house while I was asleep, but like, Mama, we got some real good sleep. But then I also just don't be taking things from people
N- no.
because it was so teeny tiny.
You still to this day do not know what it was.
it it was a lit like I
You
can't
didn't
even
ask questions.
little white dot of something and just passed out. I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna lay down, rest my eyes for a minute."
But
Like I
was it the
said,
immediate you took
18
it and
hours
you were just
later.
like, all right, pass out? Or is
Mm-hmm.
there like, was there a blackout
Mm-hmm.
phase?
Oh no, it was literally like, "Oh, here I
You
took it.
just
Oh, I'm feeling
slept.
drowsy," and then yeah, I just passed out.
Well, good for you,
Mm-hmm.
gal.
At
But
my
no, no,
house.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Is that
I am
crazy?
less familiar with some
That, but
other
also like
substance.
that. Have you heard that Miley Cyrus song, "Used to Be Young"?
Oh, of course.
Not, I'm not crying, like scream singing when I listen to it, but I go, I see you, girl. I
She's
see
been
you.
there. We're
Mhm,
familiar.
yeah, now I'm like,
Hmm.
again, acetaminophen. I don't know if I should take two. Like, totally flipped, totally flipped.
We live, we learn, we grow.
Uh-huh.
And that's about as yep, that's that
Hmm.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. I am less familiar with some other substances when it gets past wheats and things. Um, However, I've never had, and so it seems like in this case there may have also been a little bit of drinking involved, which was interesting considering what time of day I think this happened. So like, what are we doing there?
Hmm.
But you're a little high, and you might be a little tipsy, a little buzzed. At what point? And I guess again, it's not for me, but I've never felt the need to take it there. When this is where the hookup begins, which they end up in this whole
The
romantic suite. I don't. I Yes,
the
if you get a little
only way
tipsy.
I could see this being at any way feasible possible is when I first started to smoke, and
Uh
I'm
huh.
talking about like high school time, like way back in the
Right,
day.
right, right.
Like I would get erections that I could not contain,
Okay.
and like better like come
She's
on.
got to be dealt with.
So like
I'm feeling some type of way.
smoking and like with like my friends, like my group friends, was like kind of awkward. Not that I was like
Fair.
"Meow," like scratching out the walls or anything, but like
There were side effects.
yeah, like things did happen, but also like I was new to smoking. Obviously, like it doesn't happen now, or it hadn't happened like once I like started becoming more than just a casual user.
Sure.
And so yeah,
Yeah,
now
I
it
don't
happens when I
know.
need it to.
I mean, right. We have a little bit more
So
control in some departments these days, maybe. I don't know that that was ever the case with me. I don't know that that was ever a side effect for me, so maybe I just can't
so no,
relate.
that was definitely a thing. So I could see that happening.
But that also leads
But
into
the
like,
rest of it, like even like, but then again, they're like at a bar, and then they're like talking about not doing it, and then they're like
but then they kiss
kissing, and then
again.
what?
What are we doing? No,
So
100%.
like again, like you weren't high, you weren't crossfaded, you weren't drunk. Well, maybe you had like a little tipsy going, but
But
like
that
again,
also
also
leads,
all on beer. That that's some back roads stuff.
that's a no
Don't know
from
about
me.
it.
That's a hard pass no from
Mhm.
me. Although she does let him know, quite your options are beer and beer.
Mhm. But
So
again,
you kind of
it
make
re-
do.
it reminded me of that video of the behind the scenes of with like Violet Chachki and Jada Essence Hall and like a couple other Rue girls. And they were like, "You want a drink?" And then and Violet's like, "Well, what are we having?" And then they like all get on her. They're like, "Vodka or tequila?"
You got two choices, gal.
Uh-huh. Like the
Yeah.
bottle literally says like vodka, like it's college. And she's like, "You want vodka or tequila?" But again, like this is time and place,
Right.
and this is not the time or the
No,
place.
thank you. Mm-mm.
So, you want
But
the beer or the beer, Violet? But I am admiring your blouse today,
oh, I thank you so dearly.
and it brings me into this next question.
Go for it.
Your your Rose Apothecary
Uh huh. Uh huh.
is out of everyone here, who would be the three? No,
Okay.
based off of like the attitude and the style. Like we're gonna do two different categories right here. We're gonna walk in two different categories.
okay. Okay.
Style, attitude. Who would be who?
Out of me
And
and
you can go
you.
first. Yeah. So who would I be in style and attitude, and who would you be in style and attitude? We can double dip.
Oh,
Yo.
dip it. Just dip it.
So you can go first because I'm interested to hear.
I'm gonna start with you. I think you attitude. It's just David. She's David all day in so many ways. And again, if we do like we do and we put this on a scale, so there's a little bit of wiggle room. Like you might have 5 to 8% Stevie in there. She's lightweight.
She's a little glisten,
She's dipping, just dipping the
a little
toes.
glipping.
Uh
She's not
huh.
double dipping.
Oh, never. We don't not a double dipping gal. Personality, she's David, but then style, like I feel like you're a lot closer to the middle there, because it's not
I
every
feel
day as
like
a
I'm
party and
David
like
if you turned on the contrast. Like David is like Kansas Dorothy, and I'm like Oz David.
okay, I see that. I can
Hmm.
go with that. Yeah, but there's a bit of, especially in your day to day, there's also that little bit of like, it's like cute casual, like it's styled casual wear still. So like you're not doing all of the layering, and you're
Not
not
here, but just outside the box.
just a little bit. Yeah, we're
Hmm.
pushing the walls a bit. We're creating our own vibe. We're doing our own things, but That one's a little bit harder because I do see. I've never seen you in like Stevie get up, Stevie wear. Like I don't see that.
Again, you want to go back to high school? American Eagle,
Oh
Abercrombie,
yeah.
Aeropostale. So
Uh huh.
wearing the plaids, like the
The
embroidery,
stripes.
yeah, all of it. So the button. Oh, ooh, ooh,
Talk about it.
ooh. Okay, here was
Oh,
my
okay.
favorite. Here's when I thought I was doing something. Okay, so I would do, I would do a button up, like a businessman button up, like the
Already not liking
collar, the
this.
sleeves, like sometimes they would need a cuff link.
Mm-mm.
And then I would do a t-shirt over it, but like not like this, but like something with like a graphic on it.
Sure, sure, sure.
And then I would
Over
do
it?
like a jacket, like a coat, but not like a jacket, like something like very thin, but like it was long, it had sleeves, there was like the collar. And then I would take the sleeves, the business sleeves, pop them out and fold them over the jacket, and then leave the business shirt untucked. So I was looking like Disney Channel, okay, like extra in the background on Lizzie McGuire, mama.
Lizzie McGuire, Hannah Montana, the double
Hmm.
collar moment. You were,
Uh-huh. And then I would have like a messenger bag,
of course.
and then like probably like a Converse, and then jeans, mom, because casual. Ellen did it, jeans and the sneakers. So yeah, that's when I thought I was doing something. And then like
But
I
didn't
had
we
it,
all?
it would be the same pieces but like swapped up, like because I had different coats, I had different shirts, I had different t-shirts, but
Hmm.
it'd be like same silhouette and I'd just be with that bag.
Just
Oh
rotations.
my God, yeah. And then my dance teacher, my dance instructor would call me her GQ man. Again, your pickings are beer and beer. So like I was GQ in that city or that village.
But you know what a way to raise up just that young little gay boy. Just give it
Mhm.
all that confidence, the hopes.
But let me tell you, spent way more time dressing than now, so good for him. Good for him.
How did
But
we
yeah,
have
that
all the
was
time in the
fun.
world? And for what? For high school?
Mm-hmm.
For high school.
Mm-hmm.
We really cared
Mm-hmm.
that much. Let it
Mm-hmm.
go.
Well, I was watching the movies, I had to keep up. Not
Oh, but of
And then
course.
come to realize those people are 25.
Playing 13.
That never clicked for me when I was that age. I was like, when don't I look like that?
13 going on 30 was a behind the scenes Luke
Oh my God.
into
Triggered.
Hollywood.
Triggered.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
So for you, I would say definitely the style is definitely David, but I would say the
Thank
attitude
you.
is Stevie. Just all day.
I would agree. I
I'm
would
gonna
agree.
give you whatever you give me right back.
Absolutely. Ain't got no time for it. Don't bullshit
Uh-huh.
me.
Why you playing on my phone? Why you running on my light bill?
Running up my light bill.
Just why?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But I do it in that same like kind of like it's rarely you rarely get like that serious like you're in trouble or like this is like a fight kind of vibe. Like it's covered in the sarcasm and in the humor.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that comes from dark places, but so does mine. So does mine. It's okay. But no.
But also too, like sometimes people don't know that we're playing. So like when we were on vacation together and I was always like
Oh.
I wasn't explaining our friendship, but like like telling stuff about our friendship because they'd be like, "Oh, so like what do you and Roris do? Like what do you do when you hang out and everything?" I wanted to really be like, "This is our like sixth time ever seeing each other in real life."
We
But instead I
finally
was
it's
like, "Oh
almost
my God,
once a
we're
year now,
such
I
great
think.
friends. We do everything together."
Soon. Soon, bitch. Yes. But no,
So
it is like I mean we at least once a week we like talk to some capacity if we're I mean still not texting most of the
oh
time,
yeah.
but like we have our like weekly little like hangout, our chat, and we catch up and we do our thing. We talk about all of the things. We talk about this and doing this again, but it is it's an interesting Tucciship we got going on here.
Mm-hmm.
We've never been close in proximity.
Mm-mm. But we will.
Oh, it's on the
We will.
horizons. I can't wait.
When you
Absolutely.
move.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
One time
uh-huh.
I moved when I was younger and I lived in a hotel, not under the same circumstances as like the Schitt's family, but like
Okay. To what degree are we talking here? Let's
So
expand on
like,
that.
so like, we, my family took a new job, and so we had to move, and so we went like up, like into the mountains, like South Park style, bitch. I lived
Okay.
up on a hill, up on a mountain. And then when you thought you couldn't go higher, you were wrong because I ended up actually moving onto the side of the mountain that was in the distance. That was like in the background. I lived on the side of it.
So
So
how?
yes, it can get worse. But yeah, we moved up into the hills and like it was crazy. Like I remember waking up because the drive was so long and we were in a Walmart parking lot sleeping because
Terrifying.
like nothing was open
Yeah.
and we couldn't check into anything yet. And so we ended up finding a hotel literally like Schitt's Creek, but it was like an L shape
Mm-hmm.
and like the office was like in the other corner of it. And I lived there for like 2 months while we looked for a place, and the only thing that was on HBO, because like they were advertising HBO outside, was Anaconda and what's the other one? I don't know, some movie I had no business seeing that many times on a
So beer
movie.
and beer.
Basketball. Basketball.
I don't even know if I know about her, but it doesn't sound like something I want
Where
to know
Matt and
about.
Trey Parker, like the creators of South Park, do like baseball and basketball and create a game. And my favorite part was Jenny McCarthy trying to like wax a floor and like the wax thing gets away from her and
Oh,
like
maybe I have
she
seen
like
this.
whips around. She's like, I can't do this shit. And then like it cuts to the next scene, but like that quick
That's all you need.
little second, that's
Uh-huh.
it. That's it. Cause she's in the heels and like gold lame. I can't do this shit.
Just jumping.
Uh-huh. And I said, "Oh my God. Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much. You earned that paycheck." So I lived there and then like thinking back, not fondly, but thinking back on those memories, like semi recently, I was like, let me get to the Googles. Found out living in a hotel is a form of homelessness. And
Okay.
then
Well, I
it's
see
funny
that.
how like parents spin things.
Oh yeah.
Like like um like War of the Worlds. Like Tom Cruise is like, look at me, look at
Distractions,
me. And like
distractions.
Sandra Bullock is like, just fully close your eyes.
D- don't even.
Okay.
I don't even trust you to do that. Cover them completely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then me, they're like, yeah, you're sleeping in a parking lot. Well, now we get to go to a hotel.
This is our new home for a little bit.
Uh-huh. And like it just I didn't realize it. Like
So,
you're on an adventure when you're that age.
so is it still homelessness if you own the town that you're living in?
I don't know because what is the town doing for you? If anything, they're at like
They're against you right
the
now.
town is like completely working against you. There's no
Yep.
revenue coming in. So no.
It may be even
Like if
worse
anything, like you claim sanctuary, like you're squatting.
in your own space.
Mm-hmm.
That's a twist.
When the squattee becomes the squatter.
Whoa.
Mm,
We're getting
you
deep
have to
this
check
week.
on that.
We're getting deep this week.
Uh-huh.
Uh so with with things being on the horizons of us being in closer proximity one day, that
Cheers.
oddly opens the door kind of to this next question that I had on my list, which may or may not be in some ways on or off the table, just in general, but hypothetically speaking.
I hope you're not getting into the sexual relationship that David and Stevie had. I was gonna say
Out of
DB.
everything, out of everyone here, not I mean to a form of sexual relationship, but not to what they got going on. But after they have their whole little moment, their whole little escapade, they end up finding out that they are in this a love triangle
Mm-hmm.
with quite the man, let me tell you.
Well, that's the thing, is that it's actually in my notes again because we're the same person. Is that, um, where is it? Stevie and David's sexual relationship confuses me, and no
Yeah, yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
triangle here. We're into different guys.
Ah, so right. So right.
Not to say that I can't appreciate what you're looking at, but
And
like,
vice versa.
yeah, I would never be like, I guess we can share them because I'd be like, yeah, no,
It's just, I'm not interested in the first
no,
place. This one's not for me. This one's for me.
yeah,
This one is
like
for
you're
me and
free, okay, I'll
mine.
get it, get
Absolutely.
it.
Supportive
Uh-huh,
Tuccis. We love.
but no, no,
So not
thank
in,
you.
so not even in like mine in your specific situation then, but when it comes to just if you had a different say it was a girlfriend, say it was somebody else that we had and we
Mm-hmm.
knew, and it was a little more similar, and it was somebody that you might be feeling it with. How are you okay with that situation, with or without the fact that you may or may not be married? So however we want to look at it there, like maybe this is a, single living your best life,
Oh,
hypothetically
you're just
speaking.
throwing it around.
Just how are you
I
are you
don't know. I don't think I could do that.
with somebody because like the people we
Mm-hmm.
sleep with other people all the time. And we don't know about
Mm-hmm.
it and we don't know them, and that's okay. That's not my business. But when it's hitting closer to
Yeah.
home,
No, just because like obviously like if you were here, I'd be wanting to hang out with you, and like sometimes like the boyfriend would be hanging out because the boyfriend would be with me. So like then that becomes your time, but that was supposed to be our time. You know what I
exactly.
mean? And then
No,
or it's like
yes.
the boyfriend's
No,
with
yes.
you and then like I can't reach you because you're busy with him, but like I want to get with the boyfriend.
Well, it's
So
very
what?
when David stumbles in and finds out this information that Stevie, and
Hmm.
it is very, he apparently dropped her off at work and then goes to David's room to say
Hmm.
hello and have a little time,
Just oh, since I'm here, I was in the neighborhood.
and then pops back by the office to just go say hi to Stevie again and just sit on the couch and make out. First off, miss, you should be working. You should be behind that desk.
This is a
You should
bustling
be running towels,
establishment.
apparently, because they are in short supply.
Your three towels.
Ah, these people in their towels. What is this? What is this happening here? Excuse me?
The ghostesses. Oh my
Apparently. Like,
goodness.
hands up. Gee, what is happening? Okay, anyway.
Oh my god. But I will say one of my favorite things, more so with like gay friends, like us,
Uh
when
huh.
somebody asks like, "Are you a couple?" and the first thing they go is, "Oh no,
No, no,
never, never,
uh.
never, no, no, oh girl, do you see her? No, girl, I
Mm-mm.
love you, but no, like
Mm-mm.
I love that shit." And then
Mm-mm.
or
But
the
you know that
flip
means that
side
one of
of that,
somebody's crushing.
because that's what I was gonna say, because they'll either be both like that, or one will be like that, and the other one will be like,
Just full middle school. Ugh. Can't
like
take it. Just can't
like
take it.
like they they now know where they stand, and they did not know that before somebody asked that question.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
But
Mm-mm.
just so we're clear, never have we.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. And then we're gonna hop right back on topic
No,
because this
I
is
think
not
we
on
talked
topic at
about it.
all.
I think we talked about it before, though, really quick. We're, as far as I'm concerned, we're both like Ken dolls to each other.
Oh, that tracks. Oh, that
Yeah,
tracks hard.
just
I
a
just
little.
there's just sometimes it just never gets to the point. Like,
Oh.
it's not that I wouldn't, because like we've talked about sex things, like your sexual escapades, my sexual escapades, like we
Oh, it
talk about
happened.
them. Absolutely, we're those Tuccis. We talk about a lot of things,
Hmm.
but I don't. There's never a point in my free time where I'm just sitting here thinking about you in that regard in any kind of way.
No,
It doesn't pop in my mind.
why?
Why would it?
Just,
Just
I
why?
wish I had the Iggy Azalea bob right now. So what? And
Absolutely, very 1,000% that.
just, just
Let me tell you though, it was an interesting interaction. We're
oh
gonna save this one for a rainy day. We're gonna save this one. This gets a little too close and personal and about some sexual escapades. We're gonna save her for a rainy day. Tune in
save
later.
it for Patreon.
We'll circle back. Uh huh. Exactly. We'll circle back. We'll
Oh,
circle back.
bitch. But okay, so I will say this though. So we know obviously like that would never happen, but obviously we were friends. We knew we've pinpointed like when the spark had like ignited, but like when did we realize we were a best friend? Because like weren't they like in like a really low spot where David was like, I think you're my best friend, and like they were like crying. And she's like, I think you're my
Mm-hmm.
best friend. Not like that bad.
Mm-hmm. You're just full sobbing in the corner over here. No, exactly.
Yeah.
It was after Patrick comes along and they have a little tiff, and so like First off, this is a question I have in my notes, and this is like a good staple. When did we, this would be the same point of like when we thought we were best
Oh
friends.
no.
When did we get to a point where we felt like it would be safe to abduct someone to go on a road trip unprovoked just to go
What
see
is
a
it?
boy? To,
False
just to go
like
see a boy.
what is it? Like false intentions?
False pretenses, false intentions, just
Yeah,
falsified
pretenses get
everything.
bamboozled.
Full bamboozlement. Running
Hmm.
up the light bill.
Just trafficked. And then she goes, "You got in the car."
Trafficked. He says, "What am I gonna do? Walk around and admire the cherry blossoms like some kind of pervert alone?"
And then she talks about getting and she David. She talks about getting off,
She, David. Uh huh.
getting off the plane in Japan and
Just getting right back on it.
with the cherry blossoms,
Said somebody lied to me.
and then got back on that plane
Just more
and
falsities.
gaped that carbon footprint.
He was so excited about those cherry blossoms. And she said, about that.
I don't know because it's not in my notes, but I actually thought about that and I go, I don't think that would ever happen because you would just be like, oh, we're doing this, and it'd be like, oh, okay. Do I need a disguise? And then,
Just full, just, uh huh, uh huh,
uh,
uh huh.
yeah, yeah,
But it is,
yeah.
it is exactly that.
Is it a trunk space? Okay, cool.
You give it a reason, and girl, I
Uh-huh.
got you. I got you.
Yeah, again, we don't need like false like look over there. We don't need any of that. Like it's not just say what it is because
Yep.
I'll probably have a little bit to contribute too. Not so much to the situation, but
If
maybe
I'm asking
ideas,
you in
maybe taking a
particular, there's a
bench. Like
reason.
it's
Uh
not
huh.
just beef.
No, exactly. But like she said, I am a single woman driving way out of town to meet a guy I don't really know that well. And that's exactly what I would say to you.
I'll be like, oh, we're going here. Let me see what the target's looking like.
Can kill a
Maybe
few
you drop me
hours.
off.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Or maybe since I'm doing this for you, maybe we can go to Five Below, like 10 minutes out of the way.
Maybe we can compromise and do a
Uh-huh.
little pit
But like if
stop.
you didn't know, I don't know where to look. And then I'm sitting there pissed because again, I'm getting trafficked. Just-
No, I think I would say like memory based and just like what stands out for you and I. It had to be like we started the pod like you brought me onto the podcast, the previous podcast, and that ignited that little connection. Again, we were talking regularly. We just had more to talk about, and that expanded into other things. But I guess for me, it would be when you came to visit, because that is like a whole nother level of like cementing whatever was going on. Like it was a little work related. We did some things.
Oh yeah, we one picture together.
We there were two, but
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
but yes,
Oh my goodness.
work related. We tried.
Oh my goodness. It was like going to again, I guess we could tie it to Schitt's Creek, a write off, going to a lunch when you got a business and being like, oh yeah, those quarterly reports, huh? Yeah. All right, so we talked about business, write off. Like
And
that's
that
how
is
much
a
of a
hundred
business
percent what it
we get.
was. Yep.
Uh-huh.
But
I
that's what
just got
happens when two
something
G's
for
get together.
$12 because, she's got the miles. Just had to pay the taxes. But yes,
That
we went
helped.
cross country. We visited. We still got shown around though. We
Oh,
got
we're
we
gonna
got
give
to
you
the space
some of the
museum. Like I
locals.
felt
Uh
like I
huh.
finally won Double Dare or something.
Oh,
Fucking 30 years later, she finally won. Fucking take that, Blue Barracudas over in your Legends of the Hidden Temple and your
mm,
space camp. What? We went to the same place. Um, but yeah, we got shown around. We got grilled cheeses. We
of
got
course.
all of the things. We just hung out.
Yeah,
And that's what I love is just like even though we went somewhere, like we don't have to always do something, and like that's always been like no matter what we've been doing, we've always been doing the most together because it's like
it's
4 days and like
ingrained.
we want to do everything because like we want to show each other around and like do all the stuff that we would do, and then we still find these pockets of time to like carve out and just be like just chilling. And I think we had a good amount of just chilling time on that trip to where we could be like, okay, so this isn't just like a work thing. Because we talked about it earlier. Like, is this just shared trauma or what? But like, it wasn't just shared trauma. And then, like, you went from like a segment to a co-host, and that like even went more talking.
Oh
And
yeah.
then that has just morphed into today of like, oh, you're doing this. Okay, so what am I doing?
We have it we are whatever we got going on is on so many levels to where like it is a working, we know that we can work well together because we have our different areas to contribute, but there's also so many crossover things, there's understandings, there's levels of like common interest, there's like all of the things that you need, but it's all of the above. Like it's the working, we could do projects together, we can just hang out and just literally sit on the floor and do absolutely nothing. Happened a time or
And
two or
be
three.
laughing for four
Oh,
hours, just staring at each other.
no, just nothing. You blink,
Uh-huh.
oh, hilarious, bitch.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hilarious.
And then I guess mine, to like tie into both of them, because I do relate to us like getting together for the first time and like hanging out outside of like an interview was like okay, we are good friends, but I think like when we realized like the
Uh-huh.
ride or die mama is when D Money got sucked into the internet and you said, okay, this is my show now, and
I
what do
got
we need to
this.
do? And
Mm-hmm.
we just took over. I think that's when I was like, okay, because that's when I needed to like step away for literally like a year
Work on
of
some
a show
things.
that I was producing 5 episodes a week for.
Yeah.
And just to be like, I can't do this right now because things are happening. And if it gets worse, like, I really will just, I won't just need to be step away. I'll be gone. I'll come back.
But
But
it's
like,
like beyond burnout. Like,
for like a few weeks, like it was also a time like before my dad passed away. It was like it wasn't looking good, so I was like, if I get the call, like I'm gonna not just not make it for this week's recording, like I'm gonna be out for this week and the next week and the week out. Like I'm gonna like have
we're
to
gonna take
like
some
pick myself
time.
up, pull
Yes.
myself together, not to mention like the travel, the services, like all of it. So like it was a lot, and so for you to like pick that up, I was like, oh, okay.
But it was like you had created something that was fun and that I had interest in, and like that we had that shared interest.
Mhm.
And so like I at that point we had become such good friends as well that we knew that there was an understanding that like you could almost trust me. Like I was like the godmother of the project. Like
Well,
you
again,
birthed
like
this
we would
creation.
be making not that I wasn't making the decisions because I was still pulling the strings, but like there wasn't anything that you would do that I wouldn't do. So
Correct.
that's why it was like, well, okay, here, like if I could like clone myself, this would be it, and you just were it.
In some ways.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
ITGIRL.
Well, not about her. Mm-mm. No, no, no. No, it was, yeah. That is, I guess, another just solid point of, but like, I got you. You flew across the country to see me, so like, here, let me just pick up this podcast.
Well, also too, like if we're gonna put it in that, like you've driven cross country a couple times, just in different directions. So,
Very, very true. Longer
so
trips, you
yeah,
know.
we're
Yeah.
definitely even. Um, one of the things that they said, and since we are on the topic of us like being like the same person, there's a part where like Stevie and David are crying on the hood of the car outside the house,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Do we have trouble understanding like good people?"
Mm-hmm.
And I know I do, but do you? Because like I feel
Well, I
like
see that for
somebody does
you.
something for me, and I'm like, but what's in it for you?
Right, right,
But
right.
why are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but where's the other shoe? When's it gonna drop? Like, and that's that. You want to talk about trauma, mama?
Oh, it
That.
comes from places.
Mm-hmm. So when somebody does something good, you're like, that's it? Okay. And then, but then you're like still looking over your shoulder.
I like to think, anyway, that I am a decent, quick judge of character a lot of times. Again, don't bullshit me. I'm not going to bullshit you. Like, you tell it like it is. And I can usually tell if you're not fully giving your authentic self, you know? So based on that, like, no, if I feel like, again, we spark a connection or like I can quickly determine where our friendship may lie, and that has room for flexibility, that can grow, that can also diminish depending how you appear and
Mhm.
and show yourself.
Well, like I said, you give what you get.
Right.
You specifically.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
As someone with who tends to be a little empathic and just has a general understanding of like the vibe and the
Mhm.
emotions and what you are presenting. Like I can see it. It's all over your face, sweetie. And I
My
can tell if
favorite
it's
is
not true. You ain't been working out those muscles enough for this to be an authentic reaction.
my favorite is when somebody comes up and you're like, "Oh, I don't like them," and then like a couple weeks later or months or however long it takes, it blows up, and you're like, mm, "Yeah."
Wasn't for me.
Yeah, because the
Mm-mm.
like I don't get that all the time, but there'll be like a couple people where I'm like, yeah, I don't mess with you at all.
No, no, no.
Like this does not like I've only met you twice. Yeah, I felt it the first time. The second time just confirmed it.
I have no desire to meet you a third time, but if it happens, I might
Uh-huh.
just turn the
Like
corner,
if it's a
keep
third time,
walking.
it would I'd be asking myself, and I'm here why this happened because
What am I
we're
doing to bring this onto myself? What
hmm
kind of karma is this, mama?
what lies am I telling myself to get to this point?
So yeah, when good people, I feel like to circle back to close the loop. I feel like it's sometimes for me pretty easy to just like spot and understand if a gesture is like just a genuine like I wanted to do this whatever. But like I am also the type of person that will take that as just like I recognize and I will remember that. Oh, you did this for me, so I want to do something back.
hmm
So even if it's not expected that
hmm
I am to do something back for you, I don't it's not necessarily about making it even. But especially if we are vibing in some kind of way or like we do have any kind of connection, like it's just like a mutual appreciation thing. Like, thank you. I see
Coin
what you
and
did for
case
me. Uh huh. Uh huh.
are Tucci boxes.
Oh, I had a feeling that's where this was going.
Our Tucci boxes. Well, how you gonna
Oh,
say like this word's going? We were literally talking about it. When I sent you a
basically.
gift box, and you were like, "Oh, well, here's your gift box." Well, here's your gift box, and
And
then
around and round it
your gift
goes.
box, and then I saw you, and I was like, "Well, I don't have a gift box for you, but this is what I was going to send you. This is what I've
Here's some
accrued so far."
collections. Uh huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because we'll accrue things over time. Like I'll be like, "Oh, this is nice. This is nice. This is nice," and then we end up with literally a box of things that no longer fit in a flat rate and just need to be sent out.
So sorry, but that worked because we were
hmm
driving down. Whatever happened to
So,
her? Sometimes I wonder. That was a big ass box.
so that's like a subscription. That's a quarterly subscription
Just paid
box.
in time.
The Chuchi box.
Uh
Uh-huh.
huh.
And then we're doing unboxings online. Yeah,
Every
it's a whole
time.
thing.
Yep.
But lastly on my notes is the cabaret storyline.
Oh,
Just all of it.
all of it.
Just like David's happy but worried, nervous but excited. Stevie's like
This
trying
ain't
to
for
act
me.
everything off,
Uh huh.
like on stage and off. And like it's just all this emotion and then Stevie sings.
And then she sings,
Uh-huh.
which I love that scene. I love her performance, no matter how much of it is like, I don't know, like what kind of vocalist she is. So, like, however much
hmm
of that is like
I think we
acting
have
to
the same
make it a
range,
little
so
more like,
I can give her some wiggle room.
uh huh, uh huh, uh huh.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I love that scene. I love that performance, that whole moment, even branching out like the whole scene we get there with her and Moira, with that whole like little sisterly love, like supportive moment is beautiful and amazing. It's in the best Moira Rose way. But the end of her performance, everyone stands up and you just get that cute little, that's my friend from David. And it's just like, oh,
Uh-huh.
look at that little moment. That's also the episode. And I have this in my notes just because this is kind of like a personal reflection. When day of the show, David is too excited and doesn't mean to break the news of his and Patrick's engagement the morning of, which causes a
hmm
whole flurry of mess and chaos for Stevie on the day, the opening night, mama, which
That's
he
what I'm
was
talking
already
about.
warned not to do this.
Thank you,
However,
10.
literally, thank you. Thank you, 10. Don't have time for this right now. Can't be driving out of city limits to go get you a gift because someone didn't warn me this was happening. But you know what? We would
Right.
do it. We would do it.
Uh-huh.
We would.
And can't even traffic you this time. Gotta go do it all by myself. Gotta put on my big girl
Surprise.
pants
Uh huh.
and gotta just muster it up. Because sometimes you don't want to make that drive alone.
Rarely ever. Then I gotta put together a whole new playlist just for the drive. What's the vibe?
Oh my
Like,
god.
it's too much. That's a whole lot of work. So
Mm-hmm.
my kind of leading point there is her reaction to him letting her know. It's just it starts off lovely, gets a little weird and a little awkward, and we later find out why. But like, just her reaction makes me kind of laugh and feel a little bit bad because I remember when you told me that you guys got engaged. And I literally, it was just in my mind that you were just basically already married. Let the record state everything about it gave the energy, but I was a little less than enthused than I would have been more excited had I not thought that already. So I was just a little confused. And I was like, "You're engaged," but I thought,
Well,
okay, well,
I
congrats,
don't want to like
gal.
equate it, but it's kind of like, oh, I thought they were dead. What do you mean they just died? Like it's like that, like you were already like in the mindset of like I already put you in the not getting married file. Like you already put me in that file.
Uh-huh.
So,
But I was just like, so we're renewing vows or what's happening? Like,
right. So,
but okay,
so,
cute.
so it's y'all centennial. What's going on here?
It's already been a decade, so like, what's happening? But yeah, so like that just always that always stands out to me because I'm just like, damn. Well,
Double homicide.
could have been a better moment. It's all right. It could have been a more supportive Tucci or excited Tucci, but it is. And then yeah. So I also had a note because this was very you, and it just kind of reflects back to we've already
Oh no.
talked about who is who. The moment I just took a note of when they're discussing the bachelorette party, which they have so graciously
Oh my god.
given Stevie control over. And she revealed, she said, someone sent me a 7-page email
Of the dolphins.
with the subject line, Bachelor Party of My Dreams. If that's not you energy here, did you just, did you?
I have.
Go sit in your corner. You're in a time out. Look at that. Look what you've done to yourself.
Hmm.
Okay, let's not look at that. When I was refreshing, because I have seen, let's be real, I've seen this show front to back more than a handful of times. We're not going to count the exact number. I know the number. You don't need to know the number. That's not your business.
That's that's between you and Brittany.
Thank you very much. I, it, yeah, that was so you. I was like, if I get this, I could have got this email before we went on our little vacation trip to celebrate
Uh-huh.
the moment in the marriage. But that it was too good to just not.
No, you would have gotten the email and it would have been all completely wrong information.
See, you say would have, but that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what
That
happened.
is what
I
happened.
would have copy and pasted exactly all of the things that I thought I wanted to do, but then changed my mind, and you would have
Mm-hmm.
gotten what I had wanted to do in the first place because
And
that
then,
happens
and
in life.
then you would have got
Hmm.
mad when I stuck to the itinerary and you said this isn't what I wanted to do.
What are we doing here?
You said this is not what I wanted to do, and I said, but this is what you told me.
I said, on my day?
Funny enough, we have history with this exact topic because that did happen, podcast related, not too very long ago. You said, "Oh, I changed my mind on this one thing," but I didn't tell you that I changed my mind on it. So now I'm confused and a little upset. I don't remember exactly what it was about. It
I
was
don't know when you came for me, but I know you came for me. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not arguing with you. It probably happened.
oh, it happened.
No, I'm.
It
It
happened.
probably
That's the memory I got.
more than
You'll get her
likely.
later.
Totally.
Tap in.
All initial.
I'll sign the NDA.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But like,
anyway,
so
all
yeah,
right.
so yeah,
So
just all like cabaret. Also, that's where I left things.
left what things? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Left that body and soul on that stage. Maybe this
Mm-hmm.
time.
She left that ostrich feather on the stage, Mama.
Take that with you. That's your souvenir for the show. Take that home. Steal that piece. Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
So we've already kind of discussed who would be who would play her. We know. What? So
We're reading the Tucciship.
let's get in. Let's rate the Tucciship. Let's get into our final thoughts here and kind of let's see what we think. Do you have first thoughts? What do you think of this Tucciship? Where do you see her falling? Where do you see her lasting, ending?
It's a good one. Um,
Absolutely.
For a minute, I wanted to move to LA because I thought that's where I wanted to be, like with the podcast and everything. And I thought, like, well, I can do these interviews in person. I can make the connections better. Like, maybe it will turn into more of a thing because this is where people live and like we can hang out afterwards. Like it's happened before, duh. So like that happened, and then that kind of reminded me of the scene again when they're crying, and he's like, "I just want to go to New York," and then she's like, "Why? Like you made it," and then like that kind of put it in perspective of like literally like this is like what people dream of, and so I
Hmm.
was like, we may as well just actually like realize and partake. So now that I'm doing that, I am realizing that like the friendship that we have is like not going away, and so I can see that with them. Like I don't know where they're gonna end up. Like like I don't want to forecast them, but like it's definitely like we talked about like reason, season, or forever. Like
Hmm.
that's definitely a forever Tucci.
That's a
Like
lifetime
that's not like a
Tucci.
minute or anything. That's like it's like bitch is gonna be there.
Totally 100% agree. And I actually have that as my final note is that like last scene of them on the car hood. Well, not last scene, but like that scene where they kind of have that breakdown moment. And like we have had our handful of those.
Oh,
We,
like I've had them on air. I've had them on
we've shed
camera.
some
I've had them
tears.
on the phone. But there have been times where I'm like, I'll call you back. And then like I have
Give
to
me
swallow
five.
my tongue.
Uh-huh. No, 100%. But I love, and it still carries through that like they're having that really like emotional connection, and that like they're it's a new level of opening up that we hadn't really seen yet, but they're still fully keeping each other in check. Just like, why do you want to go back to this place that's done nothing but hurt you? Just like calling it out. We've had those
Hmm.
moments. Just been like,
Hmm.
you're not seeing this straight. Let's put it into some perspective for you here.
Because again, like this is what if I was in the position, this is what I would need to be told. And again, I see like myself in you, but like not in those reasons,
You.
like personality wise. So it's
Yeah.
like obviously this is I feel like what would be best for you. But also we I don't always do what you say, and you don't always do what I say.
Mama, more often than not. More often than not. Thankfully, we do get a little bit of resolution with this Tucciship, and so we do see that it's going to carry on a bit, and it gives us that opening to say there's no reason here. There's no reason this is not going to be a lifetime Tucci. At this point, is David even going to move back to New York? Is that even on the table anymore? Maybe eventually, maybe he's moving somewhere to hopefully expand Rose Apothecary, the brand, because Mama, we need more in the world. I
The
would shop if it was
lifestyle.
around. A test. It's a lifestyle. It is. But
I I just hope, and I don't think that they would, but I don't hope that they do like that Will and Grace jump where like they
mm,
completely canceled out everything that had happened because it was stupid to begin with. Like,
mm.
I don't think they'll show into the future like that with them. So I'm glad they left it where they left it because even though I haven't seen it, spoilers, like, still know what it is,
Well,
what happens,
it's but
what
the
what
memes were
happened,
about.
what.
Uh-huh. But yeah, there was talks of a movie, apparently. I don't know if that's
Apparently,
still a thing. Would be
well,
curious
the
to
Champions
know.
is rabid and foaming at the mouth.
Hi, hello, it's me. I'm here. Thank you. I would I'd be fine with this. If it's written, if it's all done exactly like the show was done, I'm here for it because the writing was good. The writers were it
Hmm.
was such a good written show. If you haven't seen the show, see the show. There's a book that comes along after, there's a documentary that comes along after. I recommend all of the above. I've seen them and read them more than one time. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I got you the book.
You did give me the book. Thanks, Tucci. You
I
did.
was like, there's a book?
It is amazing and
No,
lovely.
I was thinking of like a Schitt's Creek the novelization.
Oh. The book the show is based off of. That one. No.
Like the story continues.
Which, side note, I realized that the title, and this was actually in a note that I didn't mention, the title of the book, since we're talking about it, came from the episode of The Hookup. I just love that that is the moment that that whole thing stems from. Best wishes,
Oh,
warmest
the hookup.
regards.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh
yeah, yeah,
huh.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When they're just,
I was thinking of like the movie The Hookup, and I was like, is that
what are we
Jennifer
talking
Aniston?
about? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, anyway. Well, I think we
Oh.
got it. Oh, well, I guess we got. What is this thumbs up, mama?
I I literally have no idea
I'm
because
scared for my life.
it's
All right, let's wrap
it's
this.
it's literally just us, and we
I'm not touching a thing.
hands above the covers.
Hands up.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, okay, well, on that note, thank you so much for listening on your favorite podcatcher and watching on YouTube. I think, Liz, we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, and follow along over over on Instagram and TikTok at Good Tuccis and give us all the thumbs up there, just not here.
Well, maybe that's the sign it's giving. The universe said, hey, give us a like. I don't know. Anyway, you can also check out our link tree for access to any and all other companion content, including our Discord community. Come be a good Tucci with us, and until next time, bye,
See you
Tuccis.
next week. Bye.